You got to hook me up with how you're going to save some cash there. Guys, you could still give you some points, though.
Well, there are some cheap guys I like, but the first way I'm saving cash is to not play Steph Curry. So my favorite Warriors player for this game is Draymond Green. And it's been a while now since he's had a really good game in the playoffs in terms of fantasy points. And for like one reason or another, he keeps losing minutes. We were actually on track to having the first really good Draymond fantasy game of this series in game 4, but then the Warriors didn't have to play their starters for the entire fourth quarter until the last couple minutes. And Draymond wasn't one of the guys who came back in the game anyway. It was only, I think, Steph, Clay, and Wiggins came back in. So Draymond only played 25 minutes and he scored 30 fantasy points. I think that because the big game isn't there yet, the ownership stays a little low. And this is too cheap of a price for Draymond. Like, sure, I get that Kevon Looney has played well, but he's $600 more than Draymond Green only. Like, that's a little nuts to me. But just one other thing to add here. We don't know yet if Otto Porter Jr. is going to play. So that could change some things if we find out he's in the lineup.
Okay, Jeff, I know that you technically went with Looney, right? As a captain, you said you would definitely pay out for Luka here. Just give me some guys whose salaries like aren't going to absolutely crush you, but you think could bring some value to the table.
Yeah, I think you have to look at potentially rolling the dice with Maxi Kleber or Jonathan Kuminga, which is not very enticing when you say that at first. But if Kleber can reproduce what he did in Game 4 when he finished with 33 DK fantasy points, you're getting great bang for your buck at 4,400. The problem is with Kleber, as we know and as we've seen throughout this series, he could be an absolute no-show. And then on the other side, you have to like Kuminga because he's so cheap. He scored 23 plus DK fantasy points in 2 of his last 3 games. The problem with him is it seems like he only gets significant run when it's a blowout on either side, as Matt alluded to earlier. With what we've seen in this series, I'm not ruling out a blowout tonight, especially for Golden State. They're at home with a chance to close it out and get some rest going into the NBA Finals. I also think that he has earned some minutes moving forward in the regular rotation with how he's playing, especially if Otto Porter is out tonight. But I'm not Steve Kerr. I don't make those decisions. Regardless, all of that said, at 2,800, feels like it's worth taking a shot on Kuminga tonight.